The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hey, everybody, this is Ken Krell, and today is Wednesday, October 5th, 2016 in North America and in Europe. It is Thursday morning in Asia, and I am thrilled to be with you today because you are in for a giant treat. Now, before I give you the introduction to my friend John Abbott, I want to make sure that all of you guys can hear me okay. I see Derek saying hello. Hey, Derek, good to see you here, my friend. But for the rest of you, if you could do me a favor and just pop in the chat and let me know that you can hear me okay and where you're coming in from, that would be just simply spectacular. So just pop in the chat and say hi. Hey, Raymond. Graham's here. I see that. That's awesome. I've got a few Davids here. That's fantastic. Les is here. But just pop in the chat and say hi so I can make sure you hear me okay. Dan, let's see, Richard's here. So you guys, can you hear me? You guys are being very quiet on the chat. So talk to me, please. 'Cause I know that John can hear me. How about the rest of you? Can you guys hear
I
me?
can.
I know. I'm glad you can, but no one's typing here. So could you please?
Mm-hmm.
Luz Delia is here. There we go. There's Raymond. Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. All right, so a couple of ground rules before we start this party today. Number one, thank you, Ken. Thank you. Glad to see that finally. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Today is super special. I've been waiting to do this one for a while because the gentleman you're going to hear from is just fantastic. So I'm starting to introduce you, and I don't want to do that yet. A couple ground rules for today, as you guys know. Hey, Graham. Couple ground rules for today. Number one, this is really sacred space today, and you'll see why in a minute. But that means that I want you to put everything that would distract you on the side. If you got Skype going, put it in Do Not Disturb. If your cell phone's around, put it in airplane mode or something. But what you're going to hear is going to be a game changer for you. I think it was a game changer for me, and in fact, when I heard about it, I shifted a lot of stuff, which you'll hear about in a few minutes. So cell phones and so on, put it in the silent or vibrate or airplane mode. If you got something that's distracting, get rid of it. If anyone around, you just tell them not to bother you for the next 90 minutes or so, because this really is a big shift. Secondly, the chat is for you. I will be here in the chat. I will be muted. I'm actually sitting in a Starbucks in Carlsbad, California, and so it might get a little bit noisy here. So I'm going to be muting myself, and I will be here in the chat with you guys. So talk to us in the chat. This is the best way that John can have a face-to-face with you, as opposed to a live event. And live events, of course, are a different animal altogether. So talk to me in the chat. I am here with you during the duration. And that's pretty much it. I mean, this again is your space, so definitely use the chat, and stay focused on what John's doing. So with that said, I'm going to just count it down to 3 so I can get a clean recording here, and we are going to rock this party out. Okay, so you ready? You guys ready to rock and roll? Just pop in the chat, say I am, and I'll count it down. Hey, Julianne is here. Awesome. All right, here we go. 3, 2. Well, good day, everybody. This is Ken Krell. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. You are in for a giant treat today because you're going to be hearing from my friend John Abbott. John is coming to us right now directly from the island of Bali in the Pacific. And I'll tell you what, Bali's an amazing place, and it's a cool place to do business. And one of the things we've been talking about for years and years is to be able to do business on your own terms, the way you want, where you want, how you want. And this man has figured that out. Over the past 10 years, he's been like the intel inside behind some of the leading speakers and profit builders in the Australian marketplace. And I had the pleasure of meeting John, oh gosh, I guess about a year and a half ago, through a friend of mine. And we bonded, and we were kind of on the same path in terms of how we want to serve our clients and customers and what we want to do in the world. And we started talking about what we can do together. And there's some really cool things that we're embarking on. One of them is what you're hearing about right now. John and I talked a little bit about ways in which we can strategize to build our businesses together, and how we can also inspire others to build their businesses. And what you're going to hear about today, and I'm not going to tell you more than that at the moment because you can hear about it directly from John. When I heard about what he's doing and how we're going to be able to collaborate, I was, it didn't take much to say I'm in, and you will be saying the same thing today, I'm sure, when you hear about the way he's doing marketing that turns the whole thing around. It turns it around to the point where people want to do business with you and seek you out to do business with you and pay you to do business with you. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And I thought when he started talking about it and giving me some code words that I knew what he was talking about, but boy, was I ever wrong. So I congratulate you guys for being here, because so many people believed that they knew what I was talking about in my emails and just blew it off. You guys are special, and I applaud you all for that. And with that said, I'm going to bring John on right now. And Derek says, let's do it. So ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm iBoostify Totalpreneur hand. Let's give a virtual clap to Mr. John Abbott. Woohoo!
Wow. Thank you so much, Ken, and thank you to everybody who's here. It's like I'm so honored that you're taking your time out, because time for me is the most valuable resource that we have today. So I just want to honor you for being here, and thank you, Ken, for hosting this and inviting your people here as well. It's extraordinary. I'm excited about hearing what you're up to, and very excited to share some of the insights that I have created and generated over the last 5, almost 6 years now, in working with, well, 10 years of working with some extraordinary speakers, but in the last 5 to 6 years developing some very unique ways of getting out to the market and reaching your market and having your market engage at a whole different level, where the traditional stuff, yes, it works, but it's a long, hard process, and there's a reason why 80 to 90% of small businesses fail within 3 to 5 years. It's not easy. This is not. I applaud you. I honor you for taking making the commitment to be an entrepreneur. It's this is the space where you're vulnerable. You're putting yourself out there. You're setting yourself up for those failures, and my job is really to help you see other ways of being able to really grow your business today. So with that said, let's get going. So today I'm going to share with you how a whole bunch of my clients, and not all of them, have generated 4 to 6 figures through online competitions. So this is going to kind of give you a picture of how do you sell your high-end programs, your medium to high-end programs, quite effortlessly. I'm also going to show you how we've created valuable partnerships and thousands of new leads for our business. And I'll elaborate on this. I'm going to actually show you how you get paid to have your partners generate those thousands of leads for you. Does that sound interesting for you? I hope so.
This is the part this is the part that's going to rock your world, you guys. I mean, this is the part everyone's like, yes, yes, yes. This is the part that changes everything. So fasten your seatbelts.
So I'm going to share that at the end, literally. So the one I want to give you both. I want to show you how to generate profit, for your medium to high-end programs, because if you haven't actually gone through a business process of how do I actually set up my business, how do I actually make it profitable from day one, and then how do I get into a position where then I take those high-end or medium to high-end programs or processes or systems, and then I turn them into widgets, or I turn them into a systemized thing that I can solve many of. Many people start this the whole wrong way, by the way. A lot of people today look at the internet and go, oh, that's great, I'll just set up this funnel and I'll have all these little things, and people come through and they'll buy my $57 thing, and they'll buy my $180 thing, and then my $1,000 thing. Well, that's actually not a way to start a business. The way you start a business is by magnifying your products. And magnify means go out and you speak and you connect with people, and you enroll them into your larger value products. Otherwise, you can't live. I know so many people have gone the opposite way and spent 6 to 12 months trying to actually make this funnel work, and then gone bankrupt. Gone, well, that didn't work because they didn't actually have a huge amount of value out in the market already. So this is going to show you how you actually go out into the market straight away and get those products out, and then turn those into the ones that you can then turn into your online programs and your online small products. And then that opens up a much bigger market for you and a new funnel for you. So I would love to know who is on the call, and Ken, if you can just manage this for me. What kind of industry are you in, and what is your biggest challenge that you have today? I'd love to kind of get a sense of that, because then I can speak to that and I can be very, very specific in my language and also in the industries.
Yeah, so I just unmuted myself, and for you guys, just pop in the chat. Let's talk to us. What's your what industry are you guys in? What's your biggest challenge? And by the way, I want to jump into something too, John, and that is that some guys here probably don't have a medium to high end product. Even though we talk about the center of a vortex and the Italian bullseye method and all that, with all roads lead to Rome to the big picture, some of you guys still don't have that. Don't worry, because we can fill that bill for you as well. So if you're a little bit feeling intimidated by that, sweat it not, my friends. We got you covered. So just pop in the chat. I'm stalling. Here we go. So Graham is internet marketing. Scott is apps and mobile marketing. Derek operates several businesses. Yes, I know you do, Derek. He's in the local marketing business, e-commerce, but then he also owns a global clean energy company as well. How about the rest of you guys? Luz Daly is going to change the world and leave a legacy one person at a time. Let's see how else. Julianne, I'm not even sure what you're doing right now, Julianne. Are you still solving people's problems with pain and so on? Because she's really big on that. She's building a good back end also. Graham is getting it to market. Amy, hey Amy, she's a harpist. That's right, Amy. I love you. Harpist with many CDs. She also speaks on music and healing. So we have a wide variety, and we can do a lot with Amy on this, I think, too. So how about the rest of you guys? Just pop in the chat.
Well, that already, just from those ones, kind of give me a sense of where everyone's playing, or where a lot of the people are playing, which is great. I think I can already talk to those ones, and as we go through, drop that in there. So and as we see those, Ken, just share those with me. Great. So a little bit of background with me. For the last 6 years, I've been living in Bali, and I've been working quite strategically with a number of big speakers, facilitators. The one over here is a guy named Roger Hamilton, and Roger and I put together a program called iLab, a 30-day business incubator. We bring people to Bali for 30 days, and they work on their business. And I've been facilitating that for the first year of that, until I decided that there's so much of my time that I can give to that. But I did that for the first year with him, and that was one of the main reasons why I came to Bali, was to help him build his business here in Bali. He has a resort, and basically for the resort, with heart-centered, heartfelt, conscious entrepreneurs who are looking to make a difference in the world. So I've been doing that with him for many years, in building the flow of those people in, and then facilitating it as well. So I've been able to work with a lot of different people. Yes, that is a sarong that I'm wearing. We are in Bali, so of course this is what we wear. And I've been able to really help a lot of entrepreneurs really get clear about their purpose, their mission, and then set up a global business, set up something that's going to really allow them to be, to decide to live wherever they like. Essentially, is my definition of a global business. You have a choice of where you work, who you work with, and how much money you decide to earn as well. I've also been on a spiritual journey. I'm here living in Ubud. Ubud is the spiritual center of Bali, and it definitely has been a big shift for me, and a personal journey and inquiry of my own spirit and my own being. And of course, I get to spend a huge amount of time with these beautiful girls, my daughter and my wife. And part of this journey was that coming to Bali, we met our daughter, who was just 4 weeks old, and we've been able to adopt her over 3 years. So that that has been a massive part of my journey here. And we get to play and do things. Yes, there's 3 people on a motorcycle. I know it's not normal. It is totally normal here. 5 or 6 people on a motorcycle. This is it's crazy. This is Asia. So this is the big stuff that I love to do. And then I contribute through an extraordinary project called B1G1, b1g1.com. Go and have a look at that. It's a beautiful friend of mine, Paul Dunn, and they've set up an extraordinary structure for people to be able to give back in ways that haven't been possible in the past. It's called transactional giving. Every time a transaction happens, people are you're able to then give as a result of that, rather than in the end of the year, if I make profit, I'm going to give 10% of that. This actually builds your entire stuff into that straight away, your entire giving impact into there straight away. And yeah, this is where I spend most of my time, actually, in those four kind of screens, with a lot of different entrepreneurs jumping on. These are some of my team that we're having a conversation on. But I spend a lot of my time facilitating and working with entrepreneurs at this level. On this is a Zoom conversation, but it's all live video coaching and mentoring. So that's a little bit about me. I want to quickly share with you something that that one of the people who've come to, and I've got a number of these. This is my favorite one, because this guy is an extraordinary individual. He's a huge contribution. He's part of Beyond G1 as well, but he's a huge contribution to the LinkedIn industry, and he's been working with a whole bunch of very, very high-end businesses as well. And we worked together just recently and helped him and his marketing team really get clear on how they build their business. So I'm going to just pull my sound out, because otherwise you won't be able to hear.
Hi, my name's Adam Houlihan. I'm the general manager of a company here in Australia called My Essence. We manufacture a range of certified organic skincare and superfoods, and we export them pretty much all over the world. Recently, our marketing team completed the 8-week Campaign Mastery Academy program with Patrick and John. The brief that we gave the guys was to develop a program that would reinvigorate a dormant part of our database. Together with the guys, we came up with a 3-pronged approach to this. And just the first part of this, which was completely free, developed a return on that campaign of 400% above what we were expecting, and about 40 times the cost of the whole program itself. So to say that we're fans of the program is pretty much an understatement. The framework, though, that the guys developed not only held us in good stead for that campaign, but going to be the framework we will use for all future campaigns forevermore. So thanks, guys. It was awesome, and I highly recommend that if you want to develop a seriously good campaign for your business, get together with John and Patrick as soon as you can.
So what I want to start with understanding where there's 2 parts of this model. The first part of this model is the profit model. How do we create high levels of profit by bringing people in a way that allows us to have them applying for our work, and then engaging with them and selling our medium to high-end products. And excuse me, as part of that, we, for those, Ken was saying to me that a lot of you may not have those medium to high-end products yet. Well, that's part of the program as well. We help you actually define what that would look like and how you'd actually create that. That makes total sense, and gives you a certain amount of leverage as well. So in the last 6 years of running this, the primary is this one here, which is an entrepreneur looking to really struggling to reach their target market and convert that target market. And I say reach them. It might be even in an event when you're actually in front of them, and you're talking to them, actually reaching and connecting with them at a level that has them totally and utterly enrolled. So that turns that into a flood of highly qualified applications. So the difference between on this model between all the other sales, or a lot of the other sales models, there's definitely other smart sales models that use this strategy, but this one here, what it does, it really gets people to put an application in for your program. And as part of the way that we do that, we ask people on why would this program make a massive difference to yourself or your business. So when we read those applications, we now know and are connected in with what they see the value in our programs. And whenever you're in a sales conversation, it's really easy to speak to that application when that's in. that said, a sales conversation is one thing. A qualification conversation is a whole different energy again. So when you're in a seat where you're qualifying someone, saying, "Hey, I know you put your application in. You'd love to win this program," and my job today is to check to see if you are actually qualified to be part of this. You're the gatekeeper now. You're no longer trying to pitch to them. You're actually checking in with them, and the conversation changes from them pitching you to you pitching them. Does everyone get the difference in the energy of that conversation? I hope so. The second part of this, and this came from a lot of reflection from my clients. One of the big things they say to me is, "Hey John, I can't believe we have these people now doing our programs, because they've been in our database, they've been part of our network, they've been showing up at our events, they've been showing up on our webinars and everything else, but they've not actually been taking any action." So clearly they're interested, but there's something there that hasn't been given them enough motivation to actually take action. So this is really, really powerful for those of you who have a bit of a network and a bit of a database, to really start reaching those people and converting them into clients. So hot prospects really waiting for you, and then waiting to jump in and actually be part of your programs. And the last part really is, and this really has been looking at the way that a lot of really smart marketing and sales processes have been developed over the years, and saying, like, how can we take a sales process which is a standard, ongoing, long-term nurturing process, etc., that then has a number of calls and lots of different things that we do over a long period of time, and then we sit down there and we do what I would term a hard sell. This really changes that whole lengthy hard sell process into something that is really fast. It's easy, and it converts sales quickly, because we compress it into basically a 2 to 3 week process, so that rather than you making sales every month, which you should be doing, by the way, anyway, but what we do is we say, well, for the next quarter, let's make all of our sales in these 3 weeks. Now that takes a huge amount of pressure off us as entrepreneurs, because it means that we've now created all our income for next quarter, and that really helps us to then be able to see and be connected in with our other magic that we're looking to do, and to creating new products, we're creating new partnerships and stuff like that, stuff that we often don't get a lot of time to do, because we're just caught up in chasing our tails in the next sale and the next sale and the next sale. Does that make sense? I hope so. So really, and I just want to add on to that sales part. A big part of that is it's not so much a sales process. It's actually more of a sales service kind of conversation, because people are clearly wanting your products, wanting your services, and your job is just to serve them and allow them to come in when they've got their hand up and they're going, yes, let me do that. All right, so let me give you a context of why I developed this. A big part of it was that I was running a lot of events. Fast Forward Your Business is a massive event that I created with Roger Hamilton, and for years I've run that for him. And the thing about running events is that there's so much to go into an event. Now, we generate a few thousand people every single time we run an event across Australia, which is for Australia side of things, that's a big number, given that we've only got 20 million people in the country. So to actually run an event, it takes months of planning. We start about 4 months out from the perspective of getting our partners in place, getting our marketing collateral ready, and then about 3 months out, we are flat out for 3 months to fill those events, with brochures and sales lists and all these types of things, feedback forms, creating all these things, and you're out there making sure that you've got your video and audio crew, and then you've got all the people showing up at the event, and you've got the whole enrollment process and the registration process, and then your whole team, and managing them, and looking after them, and having feedback with them before and after, and training them as well. And then you're on stage, and you're hoping that you're going to do the best job you can, and you're doing a presentation, and you're out there doing the best thing, and you hope that at some point that when you actually make your offer, people buy. Now, sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. And the reality is, if you're not on your game for that day, then you could be doing all of that and have a very, very low enrollment. And what do you do with that? How do you justify all those costs when you can't, you haven't actually even made your money back from the end of those events? So high risk. Of course, I've been working with better and better speakers, and I lower my risk by doing that. But I'm just talking about you guys. Like when you guys are looking to run events or run webinars and stuff like that, webinars are much lower risk because, of course, there's not a big cost there for you. There's time and effort to put it together, but there's not a massive cost. There's no accommodation and flights and venue costs and all those types of things. So there was a tipping point where I kind of looked at all this and I went, holy crap, man, this is, excuse my language, this is not working for me. As much as it is working, it's not working from a perspective of my own time and my own management of my time. And when I look at spending 3 months doing this, there's got to be a better way, is the question that came to me. And I thought to myself, what can I do to potentially utilize mechanisms that we can then implement that give us a similar result to an event. Now, I want to give you some feedback before I keep going, is that we've been able to do 110% with this strategy after an event. So we've had clients run an event, have a mediocre result, and then put another 110% income from doing this model as a follow-up for them. So there are ways to actually, if you are running events, you could actually use this as a backup plan or just as a normal follow-up plan, but you can also use this without any event as well. All right, so that was the tipping point, and basically at this stage I was still in Australia, and I'd moved to Bali, and I decided I'm going to be doing something different. I want to change my lifestyle, change the way that I get up in the morning and have my time with my family. So I got to Bali, and one of the projects that I got involved with was, in the States, you guys will probably know of Super Camp. Super Camp is an extraordinary leadership program for kids, and I got involved with them and the Green School, and myself and Roger, put this thing together called the Green Super Camp, and Roger said to me, John, can you help me market this and go out, as the usual connection is with Roger? And I went, great, let's go do that. So I jumped on, and we were running this for this time frame for July 2011, and we'd been marketing for about 3 months, and we're getting close to break even, but we still weren't there. And now we were 2 weeks out. And what was interesting was that you know the way that your marketing is not working when you hear crickets and when you're sending out messages and marketing and stuff like that, nothing's actually coming back at all. And for the previous few weeks, that had happened, and we couldn't actually enroll any more people for some reason. And we'd done everything from the super early bird special to the early bird, etc., etc. And this is where the concept actually got created. I was sitting with Roger and the team, and I'd been thinking about this prior to that, and I thought I'd just present it as an idea to them. I said to them, hey guys, what if we were to run a competition for somebody to win this program? Do you think we could actually get a whole bunch of entries into the program? And they looked at me and went, yeah, I guess so. How much time is it going to take? I said, I don't know. we haven't really got much time, so let's just set an intention of doing it in 48 hours. I went, well, if you reckon you can, then let's do that. I said, then, but what the primary thing is like they asked me, how does that serve us? We can give one away, and yes, of course, we'll have a bunch of prospects we can follow up, but how does that serve us? I said, well, why don't we make the second prize a 50% scholarship, because it kind of fits into scholarships with school programs and stuff like that. Let's use the word scholarship, and let's give them a 50% scholarship to come. Now, let me say, I've been advertising 50% off the price as a bonus to come, early bird and stuff like that. So that wasn't working anymore, and so it was still the same price as what we wanted. And for me, it was, well, maybe we just need to reframe it and represent it in a way that has people more excited about actually putting their hand up and saying, yes, I would love to do this. So clearly people were watching, but they just weren't responding. So we went out, and I gave it 48 hours. I was going to run the competition literally for one day. So I went out with some marketing. I didn't have a landing page. I literally wrote an email, and that email was a long, almost basically a long email with all the details in it. But basically, right at the top, it said, win one of six prizes in the Green Supercamp competition, and the price of that was basically $3,000 US. And second prize is a 50% scholarship, which is $1,500. So I ran that, and this is what we got. We had 12 people enter. That's all. I got on to start reading the applications. I just want to say, and I know you can't see my face, but I tear up every time I tell this story. I read the first application, and I broke down in absolute tears. I was reading this woman who was just sharing with me a heartfelt story about her daughter, who had some massive challenges in her life. And really, you could hear from what you're saying that the impact of what was happening in this child's life was going to really make a massive impact for her for the rest of her life. I'm reading that, I'm going, oh my God, I hope the other 11, surprise, the next 11 were at a very similar level. I cried all the way through reading the entries. And I did choose that first person. It certainly was the one that had the most impact on me. And we chose that as the first place. And I got on the call and I spoke to them. And the conversation we had was extraordinary. She was in tears. I was in tears. The daughter was in tears. It was crazy. She got on a plane. She came to Bali, and she spent 7 days, really shifting so much in who she was as a human being and as a leader. And that's going to change her life forever. I then got on the calls for, the next day I got on calls, and I said to myself, I'm going to phone all 12, and hopefully we'll find 5. I only needed 5 sales. That was my whole thing. I only needed 5 more people to come in to make this profitable. And I got through 7 calls, and I had 5 credit cards, and people were coming, and I stopped, and I put an email out and said, thank you so much, these are the winners. And that was it. The $7,500, that's all it was. But I did this in 48 hours. And not only that, there was no response coming from my database prior to that. It was literally crickets. So I just want to give you a sense that if this is something that you're wanting to do with your business, if this is the kind of thing that you'd love to create in your business, where you can really pull out and find those people who truly actually want to do something with you, then maybe this is a really perfect thing for you to be able to incorporate in your business. So I did that, and I kind of thought, well, if that's possible with this industry, maybe it's possible for other things. So I went to Roger and I said, hey, should we let's do this, and let's run this competition model and see if we can get a similar response, and do it to entrepreneurs, and we're going to do it at a much higher price range. And you can see here the price of this is $7,200. That's what it was then. It's now more than double that today. And so I went out, and we went out, did some marketing. Again, we did it quite tight, really short. I think it was just a few days of marketing. Went out to the database and made basically available for somebody to win 30 days in Bali to in business and set up a global business that was really going to be impactful to the world. So got onto that, put it out, and this is what happened. We had 84 people enter. You can see I use Infusionsoft if you know the system. 84 entries, and we got my sales team in place, and we made as many calls as we could. We couldn't get hold of everybody, but we created 22 sales as a result. 100 in revenue for that. And let me give you this as a difference. The event that I'd run prior to this, which was probably a year beforehand, where I had Roger on stage and 3 months of marketing, all that type of thing, we only had 35 people. After I think we had over 1,000 people show up to that event. And we had 35 people sign up for this specific program. Yes, he was selling other things as well, but we had 35. Now I did this without him. He didn't have to jump on flights. We didn't have to book the venues. We didn't have to do all the work that goes into running a highly successful event. And I almost matched him in sales. And I did this in 3 weeks. So do you get the impact of this? It's really quite extraordinary. People love to win things, and this is one of our primal things.
Hey, John, I just unmuted. I was just jumping on because I wanted to share with everybody that when John talked to me about this, and actually we did a screen share. Oh my gosh, a couple weeks ago, I guess. I was like, this is when I saw this, I was in. I was done. I was in. I mean, and we've already started to promote. We may show you the screen later of what we're working on in process, but this right there is, to me, the bottom line. It's like to be able to pull in the kind of money that some people don't pull in an entire year or two inside of just a few weeks. It's crazy. And that's the beauty of it. And once again, if you don't have a high-end product like that, you don't worry. That's easy to fix, real easy to fix. But if you're looking to make a giant shift from zero to hero, I love that term, this is going to be it. Now, and remember, we're a software company, and we're going to use this to sell our software, among other things that go with it. And I got to tell you, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So I'm going to shut up now, but I wanted you guys to understand why you're here, why I'm so excited about this, and why we're playing and doing this for ourselves at iBoostify.com, and why I absolutely believe each and every one of you, for everything that you're doing, should be paying very close attention and be doing this for yourselves in every niche that you're in.
Thanks, Ken. So doing that, I kind of went, well, if that's possible with entrepreneurs, let's go wider. Let's try a different industry. So went to my friend. This is a guy named Tyler Tolman. If you guys have heard of a guy named Don Tolman from the US, they're both from the US. I met Don 10 years ago when I was promoting him in Australia. And I met Tyler a few years later. And Tyler is running extraordinary health programs like 7-day juice fasts, 5-day raw food programs, 30-day water fasts. I'm actually currently on a 10-day water fast. I'm on day 5 right now, and hence my voice is a little bit croaky as well because it affects that. But I went to Tyler and said, Tyler, you're running events, you're doing different things. Maybe we could actually make this work for you as well. So Tyler, very much like Roger, has been running events across Australia, getting between 1,400 to people show up at these events, and doing the best job he can. Converting somewhere between 7 and 15% on between his good and his not so good days. And I said to him, hey, let's do this. Let's run this competition, and let's see how we can impact the way that the people come through your events. So just on the events, we only marketed this to the people who didn't buy at the event. So all the people who had bought, they were in, that's great. Let's look after them and take them through the process. And everybody who didn't buy, let's help them make a better decision. Now, two parts of this that makes a big difference is, number one, you're giving them an offer that is extraordinary. They've just spent an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours with you at the event, and now you're giving them an opportunity to actually win one of those programs you spoke about for free. He didn't actually offer this program at the event, even though he spoke about it and he let them know that was one of the programs. He didn't actually offer this product. So he wanted to do something that wasn't offered there, so we can get a different conversation happening. And so we went out to, I think, 800 people who hadn't bought, and went through the same process. And then at the end of this one, and I'm going on to the next part because I'm going to show you both the results together. After that, literally a few weeks later, we went to his database of people who hadn't come to the event, and we looked at his last 6 months of interactivity, people who had opening emails and actually clicking on different things, watching videos and whatever. And we basically made them our A-class people that we were going to market to. These were people who had never bought any of his high-end programs. And we did a marketing piece to them. There's 4,000 people we chose. And he's got a much bigger database, but I just wanted to do 4,000 and just basically test the model out. So between those two, the first one, we had 800 odd people who had come to the event, hadn't bought. Out of those 800, 285 of them registered for the competition. So a really high conversion rate or opt-in rate for the competition. If you think about only 800 people, that's a really high-end number. And then we ran the second one, which was the 4,000, and you can see the number 505. We had 505 people register for the one that we went out to the 4,000 people one. And then the stats after that are just an interesting stat, and that's just people who are putting their hand up and saying, I would like to accept my award, please, all the way to people saying, I would like to pass this on, because we language this in a way that we say, if this is not for you, or if this is something that you can't take up, then we have a number of people in the waiting list. Please pass it on to them. So we do that, and then other people ask for a call, etc., etc. But these are the results. So 86 sales from those, if you consider about 790 people who came through, 790 people, we had 86 sales, and obviously at a pretty high price point, and $270,000 in revenue. Now, Tyler's business at that time was $1 million business. We did this in just over 6 weeks with him, for those two campaigns. So in 6 weeks, we generated a quarter of his revenue for that entire year on top of what he had done. We did this in November, December. We ended up finishing the last sales on the 22nd of December. And we could have continued, but we all decided it's too close to Christmas, let's stop. But the sales were still coming in, every few calls, we're getting another sale. So we could have continued. We decided to stop there. $270,000 in income that, he was, when he finished that event, that was him done. He was happy with the result. He went, hey man, we did about 20% in sales. It was actually a really good one for him. So he'd done about 20% of the audience in sales, and in fact over 20%. And he had obviously created whatever revenue that was, and this was like a bonus. This was this was a bonus for him to go, I can't believe what else is possible. And then going out to his database, again, we went out and we did this with him in December, and rolled it out in the first few weeks of December, and he finished his year at a record year. So I wanted to just quickly show you some examples of different industries that we've played with, and you can see a whole bunch of different competitions we've been running here, and they're in all sorts of industries. So as an opt-in funnel, which we're going to talk to you about, and this is what I'm doing with Ken right now, it's really, really powerful, and this is the competition gift model versus the competition profit model, which I'll show you a little bit later. we've been running those in all industries. There literally isn't an industry that I can think of that we haven't worked in, specifically small to medium business. Obviously in health, business incubators, online business, online writing programs, podcasting, online podcasting, spiritual adventures. This, we did this for a team of guys who do adventures, 7 to 10 day adventures all around the world. They're called Soul Journeys, and they're extraordinary $10,000 products. We've done leadership, kids leadership, spa and healing retreats. That's Money and You. That's DC Cordova's stuff, and another funnel for partnerships and entrepreneur training as well. Like those are the ones that I've played in, and there's more, but those are like kind of some of the ones that I wanted to just kind of give you a sense of. So you can see that there's lots of different places that you can apply this. So we've been charging north of about $14,500, and then basically we bring our sales team in, and we charge somewhere between 30 and 70% based on a bunch of criteria. Unfortunately, I've only been able to do this for guys who are at the top end and at the top level of their business. And I realized that this is a model that really anyone could be running, and I really wanted to get this out. I've been a small business for all my life. We're not a medium or big business. We're a small business. We just got a few people that actually work with us in our team. We've got currently 13 salespeople. We've got a development team, and we've got a processing team. People who process payments and collections, and an accounting team, and that's basically our business. There really isn't much more. So we've been a small business, since I started business at 18 years old, and I thought to myself, an investment of $14,500 is not something that people, who are building a business really have there on their radar. It's just too much of a massive investment. That said, we have had lots of people, put their hand up and say, John, can you run it for me? And unfortunately, I haven't been able to do it for the small guys either, because there's not enough in it for me either, because they're too small. But when you do that for yourself, and you're not paying out the commissions, and you're not paying up a huge amount up front, then that makes total sense for you to be able to run a campaign and do $3,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, and have that in a way that is really, really profitable for you. Just like the one I did with Green Super Camp, $7,500. That was hugely profitable. I didn't pay anyone any commissions. We went straight to the program, and we got the people we wanted, and it was brilliant. And I did that in 48 hours. So I decided that I need to go out and set this up so that I can nurture and guide people in more of a mentoring process and a coaching process, and do that in a way that they get some training on how to actually set up the most spectacular competition available, depending on what level they want to play, and then get the coaching on that on a monthly basis, where I can be in there working with them and actually hearing from them, hearing their challenges, and helping them break through whatever challenges are showing up. Because what happens when suddenly you're faced with something that you don't know how to overcome, and it makes all the difference to have that coach or that mentor who's there just going, well, maybe this is a better way. Maybe this is a different way of approaching that. Maybe it's some different language to consider. So I decided that this is what I'm going to do, and get this out to tens of thousands of people. So that's my mission right now. So let me talk to you about the competition models, because I know I've been kind of talking about different ones, and let me just kind of give you a context of that. So number one, there's a profit model. That's what we've been talking about up to now, which is all about how do we get people into a funnel where we can sell our medium to high-end programs. And of course, you could probably do your low-end programs. I've never really tested it too much on that side, though we have sold products for $457 through this process. But that was more of a drop sell from a larger program. So that's the profit model. And it's great for new product launches, relaunches of a program that people know very well, and event follow-up, as I've mentioned to you. Probably one of probably the most effective is event follow-up, to be honest. And events, before I get to that, events, I'm talking about like anything that creates people, has people showing up, and that gives them time in the game with you. So the kinds of events that we've done this on is obviously live events, and the other one is summits. We've done this as a follow-up to summits and been highly effective, and I'll show you some examples of that. So that's the profit model. Then we have this one here, which is the positioning model. These are the ones you actually get to see all the time. These are the ones that if you're going to the local shopping center, you got the car and the bicycles and all that type of thing, and basically you're signing up, maybe you're giving a $2 donation, and basically positioning model is all about charity, all about the media and demonstration of your goods. And that's not what we do. We don't do that level of that. But of course you can move to that, as Tom said. And of course those are very much offline versions of competitions. Ours are all online. And then we have this thing called the pre-launch model, which is all around creating new relationships and partnerships, members, new members to your database, and it's an education process, because this is when you get people coming into your funnel, and now you can nurture and enroll them into your program. So for those of you who have low-end products right now, this might actually be a far more it's going to be a better model for you to start with. In fact, most of the entrepreneurs I work with, who come on this program, start with that. They start with a get model, just as myself and Ken are doing with him. We start with this model first, and then we nurture people, and then we can run the profit models later. So I just want to stop for a moment, just consider what this strategy could do for you and your business. Just take a moment. Consider what you've heard. Think about how this could actually roll out in your business. There might be different ways that you've been visualizing as you saw this happen, and you go, wow, that's really interesting. Maybe I could do it this way. Maybe I could use this product. Just consider what this could do for your business. And I just want to do this. I want to honor those of you who kind of go, you know what, John, this sounds awesome. I want to take this further. And I want to honor your time more than anything else. And really, for those of you who have been listening in so far and going, I really like what I hear, and would like to hear how this can work for you, I want to invite you to continue on this conversation. And I want to invite anyone else who actually is going, oh, John, I don't know if it's going to work for me, or whatever. If that's you, then I'd rather invite you to head off and go be with your family and stuff like that. But I just want to have those people, over the next 15, 20 minutes to come through and actually see how this can work for you. Is that okay? I can't see any conversations happening, but I'm assuming that's okay. So
sorry, I had to unmute. Yes, everyone is like, tell me more. This sounds awesome. Yes, I'm with you. Amy's in, Derek's in, Julianne's in. 3D Solutions, I don't know who you are. You're in. So yeah, fantastic. So yeah, tell.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you're going to answer what you guys are going to hear what I heard. I guess 2 weeks ago. And again, fasten your seatbelts because this gets exciting. Okay.
Thank you, Ken. So I want to start by saying the fact is, and I started the conversation early on, that 80 to 90% of small businesses close down within 3 to 5 years. And the primary reason for that is the lack of ability to effectively create prospects, partnerships, and sales. That's the fact. Now, maybe you're the 10%, maybe you're not. I know that that was definitely a primary challenge for me in my business. I used to run around to a whole bunch of meetings and gatherings of entrepreneurs and going to events and handing out my business cards and doing all those types of things. I'm going back probably 15 years, and really I was doing my best and really ineffectively building my network. So one part of this is, how do you build your your network, your prospects and partnerships in a way that has people flooding in, and again, flooding in within a real small time frame. And then how do you do that allows you to be paid as well, because you're giving great value? So I'm going to talk about that, in a moment. And then how do you obviously convert those people into, if it's a funnel, then how do you convert them into your entry-level clients and then your medium to high-end programs? That's what I'm going to share with you in a moment. So let me talk to you about what I've put together, and this is going to give you a great idea of what's all there. So what you get in the program that we put together is, number one, you get competition problem. Well, every part of what I spoke about, all the back end, all of the templates, the entire website funnel. We've created this in ClickFunnels, so if you're a ClickFunnels fan as I am, you can literally click a button and it will just create the funnel inside your business, and off you go. I also have every single email, every single follow-up, every single sales script, etc., for you. So all the template promotional follow-up emails and the high converting template sales scripts. And when I say sales scripts, they really aren't sales scripts. They really are just interview scripts. This is what I should probably say there. So those of you who are a little bit, ooh, sales, well, this is more of an interview. You're interviewing someone to come into your business. I've put together 12 months of live bi-monthly mentoring sessions. Now, I just want to stop and just give you a reason why I've done this. Most people come into programs, and the actual content for this is over 8 weeks. So you actually get to sit on and actually go through all of the different videos and everything else, and you could actually roll it out in 8 weeks. But I didn't want to stop there. I wanted to make sure that if you already planned on how you're going to be building your business, and if you're like me, you've got the next 3 or 4 quarters already planned out, then this next quarter ain't going to fit for you. So I wanted to make sure that I honored those people who are very good at planning their year, so that you could be there for the 12 months, and you could maybe put it into the second or third or maybe even the fourth quarter of your year for for one of the campaigns that you decide to run. And it means that you have the luxury of being able to connect on those calls when you're actually doing it, and also gives me opportunity to see who's not actually showing up and who's not actually achieving it, and give you some guidance and give you a little bit of a nudge as somebody who can really hold you accountable is the big thing. Who is the first person you're going to let down? It's always yourself. So I'm there to make sure that you get through this and you actually make this work. So that's my commitment, 12 months with you as a coach. We have persuasive video training. So if some of you would like to actually take that on and get in front of a video, I highly recommend it. Even if you're terrified to get in front of a video, it's really, really helpful for you to actually get this kind of training. And really, there's not a lot that you need to do in this program in the way of learning a bunch of new skills. In fact, one of the big things that have really been a challenge for me with a lot of different strategies is that you end up going down a whole bunch of rabbit holes that you didn't expect to go down. And you start learning about Facebook marketing and Google advertising and LinkedIn and whatever it is that the guys are talking about, but they don't tell you all about that. But then you get in the program, and then you end up getting so sucked into these deep holes that you don't actually end up getting anything done, or if you don't actually know those rabbit holes really well, it's really ineffective. So what I've done here is this model, I've made it as simple as possible to make this work. And to be totally honest with you, people who come on this webinar and have gone out and actually tried this and done this have been successful in actually doing it. So just from this base education and this base concept that I've shared with you, if you just took the concept and you're a smart marketer and you're really good, you can make this work. Not everyone does get it to work, but that's it's not a complex model. There are a whole bunch of things that I've worked out over the last 6 years that actually make a massive difference. And the way that we pre-frame things and the way that we set it up and the way that we structure the content on the pages, how we then send the marketing out and the emails out and the congratulations and announcements and all those things actually make a massive difference in the result that we get. So I just want to say that this is not anything that's going to really be a hard thing for you to do. If you show up, you listen to the videos, and you go through the process, you pull down the templates, it's all there set up for you to just edit and manipulate what we've got and turn it into yours and then go out. I've got profitable partners training. So this part here is like really, this is one of the big things that I love doing is actually working with partners. So I train you how to enroll and set up valuable reasons why partners will want to work with you. And that really on its own is valuable to your entire business. And then all the tools required to run a profitable competition. So no matter what systems you got in place, I'll show you how you can utilize a whole bunch of different online tools that would cost you almost nothing. So I go through that with you. So if you're really new and early at this, then I can guide you through that. So that's what you get primarily. And that's essentially 10,800 that I have for that, which is the base of all of that entire program that I go out and I work with other companies with. Okay, I want to just quickly share with you Tyler, because he was one of the examples, what he had to say after we ran or whilst we were actually running those two competitions for him.
Hey guys, this is Tyler Tolman here, and I just wanted to take a minute to take my hat off, not that I'm wearing one, for my good friends John Abbott and his team. I just want to give you a little bit of information behind these guys. Fantastic team to work with, by the way. I run programs here in Bali, big juice fast, 7-day programs, 30-day programs. I have online products, a bunch of different things that I offer to the world. And, John Abbott's been a good friend of mine for a very long time. He approached me and just said, hey, why don't we work together on some campaigns, essentially for creating some sales type of stuff to get out to your database and your network. And so he came in, literally him and his team came in and sat down with me and my team and just brainstormed. And these guys are absolutely brilliant. Like, just the input that they put in with our own business. We actually named one of our programs during the time we had with them, looking at pricing and structures and all these different things. It was really invaluable to sit down and have conversations with these guys who are obviously highly versed in the business that they do. Very knowledgeable and fun to work with. Really, really amazing guys, big open hearts. I really felt great working with them because the feedback I got from my customers made me feel like not only was I, going out marketing and creating new sales for my business, but I was actually, my customers were connecting on a really powerful level and sending me even emails like, thank you so much for running this competition. So it was like fantastic. Not only are people loving this and having a connection, but they were also buying into programs. And, we've sold, I'm not even sure, probably around $200,000 worth of sales and a couple of little campaigns that we did. Yeah, working with these guys has been fantastic. I highly recommend working with these guys. We're definitely going to be producing other competitions and things in the future, working together. Definitely a good team to work with. It's just been easy flowing and a lot of fun. So if you get an opportunity to work with these guys, and you have an existing business where maybe you need some marketing and some sales stuff going on, these guys are definitely the way to go. So thanks for listening. Have a great day.
So we've been working with Tyler since then for the last 3 years and following up all of his events. We've been doing anything between 43% on top of the event sales that he does, all the way up to 110% of what he has done on his events. So if you are running events right now, and this is something that you haven't been able to do very well, which is like a follow-up to your event. So many people don't do this. They don't do any follow-up, or they do a really bad job at follow-up. Then this is going to be really something that's really going to help you. So I want to now talk about the conversation that I mentioned right in the beginning, which is how do we create a way of creating a funnel in that fills up your prospects, your database, and has it done in a way where you're getting paid for those prospects to come in, and at the same time you're setting up extraordinary high-value relationships with partners. Now, if you haven't been able to work that, any of those two out, in other words, you've been going out and you've been spending money on advertising, or you've been maybe joint venturing with one or two people and getting a little bit of a database build up and stuff like that, then this is going to be really important for you. So this is where we're starting with Ken right now, working with him on these programs. So this is called the competition gift model. And the competition gift model is all about setting up a competition whereby you have however many partners. Let's say it's 10 partners, and what you do is you invite partners in to offer a first and second prize. So you have, again, 10 different people, 20 different prizes. A first prize, which is for them to give one of those first prizes away. Then as a second prize, basically they put in a funnel product to then nurture that list. So we said it's all opt-in optimized. So basically people come to a page, they see the different partners, they see the competition, they see what it's all about. And obviously the primary thing here is we're focusing on partners who have your target market. So if you're in, let's do the health. If you're in health, then you're looking for people who are focused in the health industry. There might be chiropractors, there might be holistic health practitioners, there may be people who are businesses that supply juices or health style products, whatever it might be. So you go out to all those people, and all of them really are looking to build their prospect list. This is, we're all small business. We already know that the biggest, one of the biggest reasons why 80 to 90% of businesses fail is because they can't actually get enough prospects. So therefore, they can't actually get enough clients because that funnel is just a drip. So the competition gift model allows you to do that. People come in, they select the competitions they want to go into, they register, and they tell us why they'd love to win the competitions that they've entered. And what we end up getting is hundreds or thousands of people coming in or opting in to this competition, because for them, they're going, holy crap, here's all of the different things that I love all in one place, and I can win all these different things. It's a no-brainer. We have a 34, and just on the last one, we had a 34% opt-in rate on the page. So, and we've had a high, by the way, but just in this last one we've done, it was 34% opt-in, and it's on the top of my head. So if that's something that you want to do, you want to actually get a whole bunch of your absolute target market into a funnel, and then create partnerships with a whole bunch of people who are in your industry already, but there hasn't really been a reason why or a reason for you to partner. Because if you think about partnerships, people as a partner, they're going, well, what's in it for me? Is there a reason why I'd actually go do this? Or maybe I just spend my time doing the things that I'm doing already that generates my own income. So the reason why they join this is because they're going to share in that database. They're going to share in the people, anyone who opts into their competition, they're going to get those leads. And the way I do this, and this is the exciting part, for those of you who, and I'll just ask you just to you don't have to put your hand up, but are you currently paying for your leads? Are you currently out there advertising or marketing or doing different things where it's costing you per lead to get into your database?
I was going to jump in. I just got stats yesterday for one campaign we were doing. We're paying $7 a click just off of yesterday. That's a lot of money for too much.
Yeah. So if that's your experience currently to actually build your funnel, and obviously there's massive risk in that because you may not actually be hitting your target market, then this is 100% the best way I've ever found to generate hundreds of thousands of leads where I get paid to have those leads because I am running the competition. So what I do is I go out and I invite partners in. I go to each one of them and I give them an opportunity to come in and actually be a partner. And the value to them is, number one, I'm going to introduce you to all these other partners as well. So you get an opportunity to partner with them later. Number two, you're going to get all of the leads that come in and actually register for your funnel or for your competition, and you're going to get every single one of those. One of them you're going to give a first prize away, and that might be a hour and a half consult, whatever it might be, because that's a high-end product. That's your time. And then you're going to create a funnel product that you're going to give, which is your second prize. And then that funnel product is going to help you create a relationship and a nurture with them, and then you can start converting them immediately. So that's the competition gift model. So I'm adding that to it. I've got the entire funnel and everything else, so you can basically just download that as well. It's just a zip file. We've done this one in WordPress, but again, it's the format and everything else and structure is all there for you to basically just copy and work with straight away. So that's the gift model, and I charge $4,500 to run one of those for people. Right now, I put it all together, and we do the whole work for them and with them to do that. So that's a bonus for you as part of what I'm going to be giving as you deciding to come along and actually join this. The second bonus I want to give you, and this is my promise to you. If you show up and you are doing what it takes to make this work for you, I want to support you. Actually, let me reveal something that I haven't revealed just yet, which is one of the reasons I do this is because I'm looking for extraordinary people to work with. So I want to make a commitment to you that if you are one of those top graduates, then I'm going to promote to at least 10,000 people on my database your competition, whichever one you're doing. And if it's not on my database because I don't have your target market, then I'll help you find a partner to do that with as well. So that's my commitment to you. I don't know what the value of that is. That's you could get tens of thousands of dollars of income and product sales as a result of that. Those are kind of like the most bizarre types of things. So I just want to add that to it. And the second part is that I'm really, really happy to, for again, those people who really play full out, I want to invite you and introduce you to my personal network, people that I'm working with all around the world, like Ken, who are amazing marketers and partners that I've been working with. Now, to give you an idea of that, my partners generate about $500,000 to my business each year. Certainly that happened last year. I don't have this top of my mind what it was the year before, but $500,000 last year was just my partner income, them actually sending me leads, and then we converting those people into new clients. So imagine what that could be for your business, just a personal introduction. Now, I'll give you an example of that. I've just worked with a client of mine who has just introduced me to about 15 of his top-end partners, and there was a reason why he did that. And already, just the revenue prediction on that is somewhere in the vicinity of about $250,000 that we can do just with those partners. Now, he did that as a bit of a gift to me, as I gave a huge amount of value to him and his business, and you'll see him in a moment. And I'll tell you a bit more about that. But just partnerships are so valuable to your business. If you don't have a bunch of amazing partnerships around you, it is time to start building those. So again, let's just go through that. It's the entire competition profit model. It is the funnels, all the websites, every part of the templates, all of the follow-up emails, all the ones that have been most effective. It's the high converting sales scripts or invitation scripts or qualification conversations. It's for 12 months. It's every 2 weeks on coaching calls live with me. And you get to see me, I get to see you. There's sales video training, there's profitable partnership training on how you do that. and all the tools. I'll go through everything based on where your business is, on what you could be using to make this work for you. And if you have systems, then that's great. Of course, for everyone who joins, I'm giving you the whole gift model in there, all of the funnel and the conversion flows that we used for that. And the download, you can download that all immediately as well. And then again, the promote to my database or a partnership database and introduce you to my partner network. So that as a value is about $15,300, and that's excluding me putting a value on the bonus number 2 and 3 for you. So that's really what I've got to offer you today. And I want to show you how you could actually make this work. So the full program investment, including all of the bonuses, is, well, let me first say that I've got a global launch that I'm about to do, even though Ken has introduced me. This is the first time we're going out to the States. So I've got a number of partners that we're setting up to really make this a massive global launch. And in that global launch, this is, we're looking to put out the price of this program at $1,997 US. And that already is probably a ridiculous value anyway for the kinds of returns that people will see from this. Just if you consider the gift model, the partners I charge them about $395 per partner to be part of my competitions. We've got 20 of them joining me for this next competition, and 20 at basically $400 is $8,000 I'm creating in revenue before I even run the competition. And then I'm going to get thousands of leads off the back of that. And just the last competition I ran with a small number of partners, I tracked that down to over $20,000 in income to my business on top of that 8,000. So and that was the small one I ran. So if you can't see yourself making this investment back, within a month, within 2 months of doing this, then don't sign up, because this is, I want people who see this and go, you know what, I can do this, I can actually do this, and I'm going to help you, get into that state. I'm going to help you, get to the point where you are in total belief of that, because sometimes, the moment you actually get the clarity of where this can work for your business, that's when you go, holy crap, this is what's going to make all the difference. I can actually do this, and I can run one of these a year. I can get 1,000, 2,000 people into my funnel. Out of those 2,000 people, I can convert a whole bunch of them into my medium products, my entry-level products, a whole bunch into my top-end products. My entire income is created just by running 1 or 2 major campaigns. And I say major because they're highly impactful over a short amount of time. So a lot of that's to do with the conversations I have with you as we start, and as you sort of refer to me and share with me what you're doing and how this could work for your business, and then I help you just tune that in so that you get to that moment of, wow, got it, this is it, and then you know which partners you're going to go after, where, exactly who your target audience is, and you have a target, you have a time frame, and off we go, and we make this work with you. So again, if this looks like a big number, I highly recommend you consider that the outcome of this is massive, and it's unique. This is something that we haven't actually done in the States. We've only run these kinds of competitions in Australia. Yes, there have been people from the States that have been on those, but this is going to be pretty unique in your industry. No one has seen this before, so your opportunity to get in early is going to be really massive for you. And then we've got some payment plans as well. So I wanted to share with you, this is Henry O'Brien. He ran a summit with 108 people in his summit earlier this year, in February actually. And he contacted me and said, John, I've got this program that I'm running. It's a 5-day program, and I'm going to be doing it in October actually, it's this month. And I've got it, I've been marketing for it, and I haven't actually got anybody buying it, and I need 100 people. So we sat down and worked with him, and I said to him, maybe what would be a real obvious thing is actually to put this profit model in with you. And so we did that. We put the profit model in, and we went up to the people who had registered for that. There was 15,000 people who had come through his summit. And the summit wasn't profitable. Summits are summits. Some of them kind of make their money back, but essentially what you're doing, you're building a database. And you're creating rapport, and you're obviously elevating yourself in your marketplace. So he did that. We put the competition out, and he had over 600 people out of that 15,000 apply. Now these people, again, if you consider a summit, yes, they've seen you. Some of them would have watched some of the stuff. Some of them may have, a small percentage would have bought the actual summit package, but you haven't really been able to build a lot of rapport with people in a summit. You get to do a certain amount, and if they watch enough of your videos, like he had 108, so there was enough time in the game for people. He ran that over a month. So we followed up. Over 600 people applied, and as second place, he was giving 70 second places away, which was, I think, $1,000 towards them coming to the program. So the program was in there at $3,500. You have $1,000 away to the second place prize winners, so $2,500 for them to come to the program. And that's, to be honest, that's the sale price that he actually was happy receiving, and that was his early bird, super early bird price and everything else. So again, he wasn't discounting it any further than he would, if we're going to use the word discount, he wasn't discounting it any further than he would have liked anyway. And he got onto the calls, and he had a 58% conversion rate, about 120 calls, and close on 70 sales. And you can see his language in there. Let's happy it up. Lunch is on you. Lunch is on me, shall I say. And it was just extraordinary. He was the guy who actually introduced me to a bunch of those people, and those people that he interviewed to talk about how they could actually use this model for their business. I'm very clear on the kind of people that I really want to work with, and a lot of them that he had interviewed were really connected with my target audience of people who I want to run my high-end service on. So that was Henry. He loved it. He lives here in Bali as well, by the way. And before we get any further, I just want to put this up for anybody who kind of goes, "Hey, John, I don't know if this could work for me, but I'm curious." Then I invite you to jump in and actually take a plunge with me, because this is my guarantee to you. If for any reason during this initial month we feel, and I say we feel, you and I feel that this is not something for you, I'm just going to simply refund you your money, the entire investment. There's no questions. I may have a conversation with you and help you get to a place that's going to really serve you, but in some cases I don't even do that, because sometimes the people are just not the right people. This is, I'm looking for people who are actually going to make this work for themselves and who are going to be committed to this. So that's my guarantee to you. Any reason, the first 30 days, just put your hand up and say, "John, I don't know if this is working for me." I'll get on a call and I'll help you see how it can work for you. And even in that call, if we can't get to a place where you go, "Got it," then just going to refund you money. It's not about the money. It's about the people who we're serving at a high level. And I want to see you successful. I absolutely am up for a game of a high percentage of the people who come through this actually achieving the goals that they're looking to achieve. This is my friend Christopher Duncan. He actually has just moved over to the States. He's from New Zealand. And Christopher is one of my biggest fans, and he promotes the competition model and profit model to all of his clients. So he's fibbing in this one here. He doesn't want to keep it to himself. He actually tells everyone about it. In fact, he has a program called Freedom Fast Track, which helps people build online businesses. And he gives this as one of the primary processes and strategies to utilize to actually sell their medium to high program. Now, his program is $10,000 for his program, and he does anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000. He gives that away at. We ran a program for him last year, and he's then since run his own ones. that did over $150,000 in sales for him. And he was just blown away in how quickly we could do that and how effortless really it was for him, because he didn't have to do a lot at all. He didn't have to show up. We just rolled it out to his audience. And here's one of the guys who initially said to me, John, there's a whole bunch of people who have just joined here who have been following me and actually not done anything. So they clearly want to do something, but there's been something that's not motivated them to take the action, to actually put their hand up. And now I've got an application in, now I can see what they actually see the value in, and now we can talk to that. Now we can help them see the potential in it for them and how they can achieve their purpose, something that's passionate for them to be able to do in their business and achieve. So he's an extraordinary person to work with. So let me just quickly finish this and give you what I'm going to offer you today, which is the competition profit model. So this is really as a pre-launch to the global launch. It's the competition gift model in there as well. So how do you actually convert your high-end products? How do you then build your big funnel, get paid to build your funnel, work with partners with a strategy that's highly valuable to them, that then creates a really strong relationship and partnership with them forever. So like this is really powerful. It's webinar offer only. This is really for everyone who's here. I want to take another $500 off that, so that you get the whole 12 months, all of the content, all of my support in that for the next 12 months for you at just $1,497. Now, for those of you who don't have $1,497 in your back pocket right now, I want to support you as well. So I've got a four easy installment plan for you, which is $397. So if you want to do that on a credit card, or you want to do that on PayPal or something like that, you're welcome to do it in either way, and we can look after you that way. So that's really what I want to do, to really offer you and say, I'd love to have you on board. I'd love to support your business. Again, I'm so honored that you've spent the last hour and a half with me. Yeah, exactly, hour and a half, last 90 minutes with me. And at this stage, I just want to just complete with, how could this look for your business? I'll give you an example. That's the link over there, and I'll bring it up again in a moment. This is Roger Hamilton. Roger and I have been working with this over the last 6 years. He's the guy who I started this with. He runs about 3 to 4 of these competitions a year in different ways, because you can language it up and you can frame it up so amazingly well that it actually doesn't even look like a competition. It looks like an award. So he runs the Entrepreneur Impact Award. So he's looking for people who are making a massive impact in our world, and people apply to win that impact award, and they put in video applications and they do all sorts of things. He creates, I don't actually know this for sure, but I would suggest that he creates anything between 25 to 30% of his revenue through these competitions. And he absolutely loves the way that we developed this, and he runs all of these himself now. He's got an entire team behind that. And it's really made a massive difference to his business, because it's given him more time, and it means that he doesn't have to be on planes and get out and do a whole bunch of stuff that he used to have to do and get into the front of audiences as much as he's had to do in the past. So consider that there's a way of you actually integrating this kind of strategy in a way that really serves your clients, and it finds the clients you really want to work with by languaging and framing up the way that you do the competition. I'll give you an example. I've been working with a real estate guy, and we're using this in the real estate industry. He is a what do you call them? He basically goes out and he helps people find a home or an investment property, and then he does all the negotiation for that. And it's a service, and he charges $15,000. And he gives one of those, he's giving one of those away a quarter. And basically how we've done that is we've set up a grant, a property grant, a property investment grant with him, so that he's able to now, and again, we language this around what's common in that industry. So as a property grant, he gives one of his services away for free every quarter, and then he gives a grant, which is like a 50% grant towards people who want to come in and take on the service. So you bring in, we'll match your money. You give your $7,500, and we'll bring in $7,500 as part of the grant, and now you can use our services. What's happened is that it's doubling or tripling the amount of people that he's getting in to do the program, and it's really, really helping him, set up something that before, if he got 4 people in a month on that, he was doing that pretty well. And this is only one segment of your business, but it took a lot of time, a lot of effort, lots of conversations, and the conversion rates were really, really quite low. So this has really helped him take this to a next level. And what he does now is he goes to accountants and financial planners, and he says to them, this quarter I'm going to be giving away one of my my services worth $15,000 away for free. I'd love you to be able to offer that to your audience and give that as great value to them. And as part of that, I'm also going to be giving away $7,500 grants to the people who are second prize winners, and then allowing them to work with me so they can become more financially, create more finances and income and wealth in their lives through property. So there's so many different ways. I'd love to share so much more. So again, 12 months of membership access, the entire webinar offer, as you've seen it, $14.97, or just 4 payments of $397. So consider this. You could be going out and doing what you're doing, and if we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we've always got. So if it's time for you to make a change, and it's time for you to lower the risk in the way that you do your marketing, the way that you convert your audience into your clients, and maybe this is a different way of looking at it. This is something that's a little more unique. If you're doing things that are the same old that everyone else has already seen, if you're following a whole bunch of the strategies that have been out there for so long, and people kind of are now conscious of this and far more alert about this, then maybe this is a different way of you actually framing up and actually inviting people in. If some of your biggest challenges are getting your funnel in, converting them to sales, and actually getting new clients and working with them and actually making a bigger impact on this planet as a result of them coming in and becoming your clients, and then the impact that they can have on their clients, then again, this is, consider this to be an amazing way for you to do that. We've got a link up here called iboostify.com/CPM. I'd love for you to join me. I'd love to see how we could find in a conversation that thing that just lights up your heart, that you just go, that's absolutely freaking amazing, John. I can so see this and see how this can work for my business. And a big part of this being, I can see how I can become so unique in a way that other people see me in my industry, and I become a leader, and I become a key person of influence as a result of this, because I am leading partners, I'm leading extraordinary scholarship funds or grants, whatever it might be. I now have that available to be able to help other people do things, because I've actually built that into my product pricing. I've built that into the way that I do things. If that's something that you're looking at going, John, I love the fact that we can do something like this that can really shift in the way that I do my business and help me do the sales and the marketing and the funnel generation in a much tighter time frame, and then allow me to spend far more time on my business rather than in the business every day trying to find more leads and doing that hard, and all the risks that are involved in that, then let's get you on. Let's get you on that first call. Let's get you into a conversation, and let's tune that in. Let's spend a bit of time really getting clear on how that works, and how that's going to work best for you and your clients, because of course it has to work for them. It's not it's not a one-way thing. This is a win-win-win for everyone. So that's me. Ken, thank you so much for your time. I'll invite you to wrap this up. Thank you for your time, everybody. Really honored to be here.
Well, I am unmuted again and thrilled to pieces, and I'm seeing a lot of people that are commenting going, I love this. So for those of you that are joining us, just pop in the chat and just say, I'm in, so I can know to look for you. I'm seeing a lot of, will it work? Theodore is asking, will it work for a small hotel? Oh my gosh. I'll let you answer that because I think the answer is a big yes.
Totally. Hotels, I'm amazed you asked that. I helped Phil Rogers' entire occupation for his resort, only 19 rooms, help him take that from almost nothing to 80% within 6 months.
That's awesome.
Utilizing strategy just like this. And I say strategy just like this, they were culminations of what I was doing here, but I can certainly show you a really smart way of doing that. And there's so many different models in accommodation hotels that, and there's language and things that people are used to hearing, and that you can really model into this and allow to do that. There's obviously all the big guys out there doing I'm trying to think of them, the Groupons of the world, doing things which are massive discounts. So how do we change the language of what the Groupon does into something where it's actually a vacation fund that people can invest in and come and actually be at your resort? Maybe that's a different way of languaging that, where basically you're not dropping your pants down to the last cent to get people in there, but there's a real big reason that they want to come to your one, because you're investing in them and in their vacations going forward. Maybe there's a whole different way of actually looking at that. I put that out there. There's a number of different ways that we could do that for sure.
Awesome. So that helps a lot, I think. Yeah, you want to look at that. That's giant. I see a lot of I'm ins. So I know Amy wants to play. I see Bill looks like he is saying yes. Scotty's in. Leslie's in. Darren is in. Up there, the vacuum cleaner. Here we go. Is in. Sorry about that, you guys. Someone's having. Julianne's. Julianne, I think we can probably do that for you. You'll have to take a look at that. We just need to make sure that we get. We'll work it out for you. So we'll work that out for you, Julianne. I'll talk to John about that. He's not a GoToWebinar guy, so he's not seeing the chat. There we go. Sorry about that. Let's see. Ted is in. So awesome, you guys. Because I don't see where orders come in, so I just know what you're telling me in the background. The other thing too is that I'm in. So we're doing our site right now. We're building that literally as we speak. My team is working on that right now. And we're building it out. So I want to hear what you're doing. Happy to share our experience with you guys. You just come out into any of our user meetups for SiteWrap, and happy to talk about anything along those lines, because it's all about serving you guys, which is why I made sure that I brought John with us today. I'm pumped about this. So who else wants to play? I want to see who else is here. A couple of you are still quiet. Any other questions for John? Because I want to make sure that we get that all answered here. Let's see. I know Les is in. Awesome. Okay, well then I don't see anything else, John. So I think you're off the hook for a moment. You and I have a call in just a few minutes as well. So Luz, get ready for the call, and Luz Dahlia, get ready for the call, and we'll hook up in just a few minutes. You and I. Theodore wants to promote singles travel to Aruba. That's great. Oh gosh, can you imagine? That's going to be giant.
That is right down the avenue of this. Like anything where you've got a destination, you're taking a group of people. Oh my God, this really fits that model. The soul journeys that we've done, the 30-day business incubators that we've done, all those types of things. This is a conversation that I'm very happy to have with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. So Julianne wants to know when it's going to start.
It's already started. It's an ongoing 12-month process. So you just jump in now. The next call is next week, and I'll send you all the details of that. It's on Thursdays, and given that most of the audience currently is in Europe and Asia, we'll probably actually end up starting a separate conversation with you guys. So I'll reach out to everybody who's there right now and just let them know that we've got a whole bunch of the US joining us, which is going to be awesome. We've got a Facebook closed group page as well, where everyone's the conversations are happening. You get to see other people's plans being developed. You get to comment on that and feedback, and they get to feedback on yours. People are putting up videos on, this is the video I'm going to be doing. It's really, really cool. It's very active, and of course, every 2 weeks I'm on here. I'm there for you, having the conversation on how you can better each stage of development of this in your business and as part of your rollout strategy. Over the next 12. This may be something that you decide to work with and utilize for the rest of your business. Ken? You vanished.
No, I'm muted. I'm not vanished. I'm talking and I'm muted. Like, this is not good. Yeah. So yeah, Theodore, we'll get you. We'll get you. Theodore says, "I missed the webinar, but I'm sold." Yeah, definitely. Grab your spot right now. Make sure you're on the call for next week. Now, I'm going to add a bonus. I don't ever do bonuses on webinars, but I'm going to, and I'm calling this a bonus, but it's just common sense. So here's the thing: we're doing this. I mean, we are, and I have to scroll up and figure out what the website is so I can show you what. But it's a work in process, so I don't even want to show it to you right this minute. But our team is building our first one out, and our plan is understand that our business, it's at iBoostify, we serve podcasters, authors, content marketers, local businesses such as chiropractors and so on, because SiteWrap helps keep people on their websites longer so they can build a list and sell more stuff. So we're going down all those verticals, and we're going to be doing a contest and a competition for each one of those verticals, probably one every other month, and then gradually ramping them up to scale it even bigger than that. So can you imagine the kind of dollars that are going to come in on that to build our business? And it's different than anybody else is doing. So we are completely committed to that. And so what I'm going to say to you is this: when you join this program, you let me know what you're doing. You let me know that you're in. And what we're doing, I will be happy to share our experience with you hand in hand. And you'll be able to talk to me and talk to our team to share that so that you will not be alone. And if you need a team to help you build this stuff, my team in the Philippines is actually growing, and our team manager is actually building other teams for other people. So if you need help to do that on the back end, we'll get you help too. Because one of the things I want to make sure we're all clear about is that your job is to work on your business, not in your business. And you'll be hearing more about that a lot more over the next few weeks in terms of how we're going to revolutionize the way you run things. So think about this as a system. Think about this as a way of really changing the way you're doing things, building your customer base bigger, better, and with deeper quality. And understand, our basic software is $29 a month. You don't make millions of dollars at $29 a month unless you can boost volume up and make it work exponentially. This does that for us. And also, the marketing pays for itself in just a revolutionary way. So that's why I want you guys involved in this. That's why I'm celebrating those of you that have already put their hands up and said, yes, I'm in. And that's why I want to be able to help you and share our experience with you and your experience with us so that you can be more successful. So the value of that is exponential. I mean, I bill out. I mean, I don't even sell time anymore because, well, actually I do. We do power days at 10 grand a day. But I don't want to sell time for dollars. I want to sell our opportunity to serve you as this bonus. So when you join, you have access to us in that fashion. Okay. And that's important to me because I want to make sure that you can brag about this to your friends and make a bunch of money to have a better life. So with that said, I want to welcome you guys on board. Can't wait to have you on that call next week. And, John, thank you so very much. I really appreciate your jumping in on such short notice to be here and to serve us and to drop your price for us as well. Because I mean, guys, this is a silly price. One thing I wanted to tell you: if you guys have any issues whatsoever with getting things done, just let me know. We'll see what we can do to help. Okay. So with that said, John, thanks again. Everybody have a great day, morning, evening, nighttime. For those of you in North America, it is evening now. And I wish you the best of success and can't wait to hear about your contests and your competitions. Take care, everybody. Thanks, John.
Thank you so much, Ken. Thank you, everybody.